break open your house one time, they rape your mother, they rape your father, they rape your brother, they rape your sister, they rape your auntie, they rape your auntie, they rob you of all your jewels, they take your car if you have a license firearm, they take your firearm, and they go on with that. And those that are supposed to vote for this bill, for the next year, you all are pleased and it's okay with that. What are they smoking? You cannot come and tell Saieed, well, hear this now. Saieed, mass mandatory, here we go. It come to an end. And then you come and tell me, here we go on Saieed. If you go to the supermarket, the grocery, or the malls, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you go in a pharmacy, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you're traveling, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the transportation hub, you have to wear your mask. If you're going to church side, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the school side, you're wearing your mask. If you go to a barber salon, you go to the theater, you're wearing your mask. Which dum-dum in Trinidad and Tobago will go in a theater and buy a popcorn and a juice and sit down and wear a mask? Thanks! If every councillor go through their constituency, do video clips like this and send it for us, I'm gonna be so happy just to play it on our program on a Wednesday night. You know why I would be happy? I will be filled with joy in my heart. You know why? Because the councillor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change. And thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago, coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saieed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saieed, you have to be contented. You have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here. with Saieed Ali. We are live on Synergy Network Monday to Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. But we're on the next day, viewers, from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. daily. Remember that. So as we start our program tonight, Health Minister have stated that 20 new laboratory confirmed cases of the dengue have been detected, bringing the total number to 1,407. The number of laboratory confirmed deaths remain at 16. In an interview or an update, the ministry said a total of 1,142 yellow fever notices had been issued to property owner-occupiers, directing them to clean up their surroundings. It said, of these 53 property owner-occupiers had been identified for the consideration or institution of legal proceedings for non-compliance. The ministry reminded the population that the best means of reducing the incidence of mosquito-borne disease is through the elimination of the breeding site of the Aedes aegypti mosquito. So viewers, again, from Real Talk Studios to you, we are urging you to clean your surroundings. Clean your property. The drain in front of your house, the drain around your house, the huge bushes that you may have around your property, the old tire, the old fridge, the doors, the bucket, the swimming pool, cover it, the pool, cover it. We are urging you, because of the fact that dengue kills, you could lose a loved one. And you know how sad it is to know that the dengue virus has caused the husband, the wife, the brother, the sister, the grandmother to die. And that fault will be of you, the property owner. Do you really want to be labeled as that? No, I don't think so. Also, the ministry, the health ministry, is taking legal actions for persons who are refusing to clean their property. As long as they issue a notice for you, they check back within 7 days or 14 days, and they realize you're ignoring the notice, they're going to take legal actions. And this, I would side with the ministry for this. Clean your property. Prevent the breeding of a killer mosquito, I should say, that causes a disease, with the loved ones being killed by it. It's sad, but this is the reality we face. So instead of losing a loved one, instead of the ministry taking legal action against you, which will be a shameful thing to you in the community, the best thing to do is clean up your place. How hard it is for you to keep your own place clean. It's not the neighbor one you keep it clean, it's yours. It's yours. So viewers, take heed. The dengue virus is in Trinidad and Tobago. It is a killer. So save your loved one life by you acting accordingly. So you have Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Viewers, remember, we are Real Talk here. We are offering you 4% on fixed deposits. You're getting your interest up front. No other financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago is offering you that. Remember, the reason for upfront interest is that you could be able to enjoy your hard-earned labor and savings. Now, why did Real Talk come up with this marvelous idea? It's because I want you to enjoy your savings. I want you to enjoy the fruit of your hard labor. Because I'll tell you something, when you work and you save your money and you put it away, do you want to wait 10 and 20 years then to draw the interest, then to enjoy life? You never know what could happen. Other financial institutions, they are not thinking about you, but I am thinking about you. I am thinking about you enjoying your hard-earned. Imagine you work 10 years, you have $100,000 in a financial institution and you're getting no interest. No interest. 1%, 2%? No, not that. Here at Real Talk, when you open a fixed deposit with us, we want you to enjoy it. You sign up a fixed deposit, whether it's by check or by cash. You get your upfront interest for 5 years or 10 years or however long the case may be. Go for a vacation. Do some repairs to the house. Pay down on a new vehicle. This you can enjoy. Only Real Talk is giving you this. Also, viewers, be members of the credit union. Plant a seed today for a brighter future. I'm encouraging you. I am encouraging you. How many people will tell you, plant a seed today and watch your seed germinate? Nobody's going to encourage you. Let me tell you something. When you plant a garden, you would be able to reap vegetables later on. That will benefit you. So remember that. Open a savings account today at Real Talk Credit Union. 2 locations. Our phone numbers will be on screen, viewers. Our locations are number 14 Carolina Savannah Road in Chaguanas, and number 25 Cipero Street in San Fernando. These are our contact numbers, viewers. Feel free to call, set up an appointment, and our staff will be delighted in meeting you. Also, those of you looking for cash borrow, I'm a licensed money lender. That is our south location there, viewers. A pretty building, you can't miss it. You can't. Also, I'm a licensed money lender. You're looking for cash borrow, it's not a problem. We can do business. We can do business. Also, for those of you that are having spiritual problems, you can contact me. Any one of the numbers you can call, set up an appointment, and we can meet and see what's going on from there. So, budget day is coming. The 2024-2025 budget will be presented on Monday, September 30th, 2024. The date was announced by the Finance Ministry. The upcoming budget will be the 5th and final one for the PNM government for its second term, which began on 20th of August 2020. It is also the government 10th budget since Dr. Rowley led the PNM first one election in September 2015. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, I want to let you keep in mind, taxes, taxes, taxes. The 2023-2024 budget, which Umber presented in October 2023, was a $59.209 billion package, with the highest allocation for ministries going to education. It is $8.022 billion. $10 million spent on St. George's. And look at what happened to it. Flood the other day. Flood. Can Gatsby Dolly say something on this? They can't. They come out of the Bramburuzi problem, A, B, C, D, F, G, and that is it. If all bite, I don't say what I had to say. That's their mental thinking. That is their mental thinking. But Trinidad and Tobago, I'm going to tell you something, eh? I want to let you understand this. Thus far, this government have brought to you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, nothing else but tax, tax, tax. Everything is a tax. Can the government implement something else to create revenue other than tax, tax, tax? No, they can't. They can't. What about the agriculture in our country? Is it booming? We're not hearing anything about agriculture. What about the livestock division in Trinidad and Tobago? Are we hearing any growth in it? No, there is no growth because nobody's investing in it. No incentives. I keep talking about Guyana. Guyana is investing millions of dollars in agriculture. In case the oil sector goes down, agriculture on the increase. Congress is going to tax you until tears come out your eye. Until tears come out your eye. A lot of people would call it and say, Saieed, you're bashing, you're bashing, you're bashing. No, I am not bashing. I am trying to save the little dollars you are working for. That is what I am doing. What you cannot do, I could do. I could tell all the things that I'm bringing out. I told you about property tax. I told you about water rate. I told you about electricity. You didn't take heed. What you getting now? What you getting now? If they decide to take off the subsidy from electricity, you know what's going to happen to you? You will go back to candle days. And this is what it is in the making. It is in the making. It is in the... What about water? When they decide to raise water rate, what's going to happen to you? You're done and getting water. What's going to happen? Call a good night. Prem, call back again. We didn't hear what you say. So, property online. Minister of Finance Clongenberg have stated that this ministry is working on an online solution to assist property tax payment, which will be identical to bank account transfer payment, as is done for WASA and Tint bills. However, he couldn't give a date for the start of the solution. So Trinidad and Tobago, the government brought out a deadline for property tax, September 30th, 2024. Everybody must pay their property tax by September 30th. But the thing is only so much people could get through at the Board of Inland Revenue's office. If you do 50 of them for the day, that is all they could take. That is all they could take. And Clongenberg didn't realize that you need to put something in place when you give people deadlines. Would September 30th come and go, and the online tax payment would not be in existence? You see, Clongenberg hurry to collect your tax, but he's not hurry to put something in place. Have you passed by the BRO office lately and see how much people line up there at risk with money in their pocket? How many of you saw that? How many of you? Disorganized. Quick to bully the people, but disorganized. Saieed, you're talking nonsense. Well, go join the line and stand up whole day. Walk with about 4 or 5 bottles of water and join the line. They don't even have a chair for an older or a middle-aged person to sit down. They don't. All they care about is you stand up there and when your turn reach, you go by the teller. It's sad, you know, but it's really, really sad, you know. It hurts my heart to pass in BIR Shogunas here this morning and see the amount of old people lined up. Well, don't talk for Cipero Street in San Fernando. Don't talk for them. It's a watchman now. It's sad, it's really, really sad to see people lining up. To see people being treated like some dog by the roadside. It's sad, you know. Look at that now. It's sad to see people line up like that. Come back to me. Are we begging for something? Are we begging? Trinidad and Tobago, let me tell you something. If you all don't pay property tax, Clongenberg cannot charge every one of the people. Trust me. They can't. And I keep telling all of this. Now, after long lines of citizens trying to pay the tax by September 30th, deadline, Independent Senator Paul Richard asked if given the deadline, additional payment option and the location would be made available to alleviate the problem. Imbert said that there will be no additional location before September 30th, even though efforts are being made to expand the capacity of existing location. The man have no heart for you all. No heart. All I'm running going to pay this man I care about earlier. You could fall along and die there. That's your problem, not my problem, Embert. That is not his problem. You know what his main goal? It's to tax you. It's to tax you. Embert explained that additional payment option were a very complex matter, made even more complicated by the recent behavior of the Auditor General. So you're going to tell me, because of the Auditor General behavior, you can implement nothing for 1.4 million people in Trinidad and Tobago to make tax payment easier? You blame it on the Attorney General. Embert, let me tell you something. If you are getting senile, Saieed Ali is not senile. If certain cells in your head not functioning, Saieed Ali, all his cells in his head is functioning. You blaming Jayawanti Ramdas for the population? But you sad, boy. Take what I tell you, you're sad. Trying to make all of me read this again so you all will understand. It would explain that additional payment option were a very complex matter, made even more complicated by the recent behavior of the Auditor General. You blaming Jayawanti Ramdas for the lack of enhancement of payment for property tax at the BIR office. But hey, let me tell you something. Embert, let me tell you this, eh? You see this stupid statement? You should get up one morning and can't remember the date. If that is your goal, to blame Ramdas for lack of easy payment for property tax by the citizens, you should get up one morning and cannot remember the date. I, Saieed Ali, telling you that on national television. Now, I would say this. It is not Ms. Ramdas' fault that $2.6 billion went missing. Ramdas is trying to rectify where the problem came from. And in order to rectify where the problem came from, she needs access to the check clearing system that is in Central Bank. But for some goddamn reason, I don't know if you have a hand in it, but Central Bank ain't want Ramdas to go there. And all of a sudden now, as I start hammering it on Real Talk, they want to meet. So I'm asking myself, Embert, do you have anything to deal with this? It's a question I've been asking now. Because I know Central Bank answers to Ministry of Finance. Somebody getting it. It's sad, Embert. It's really, really sad that you want the matter to come to an end, but Central Bank doesn't. It's sad, you know. Now you want to blame Ramdas now because there are no easy payment solution for the general public. You're blaming Ramdas. How could you do a thing like that? You ought to be getting senile. But then again, one morning you should get up and forget what date it is. If that is the road you're going down, blaming Ramdas for no easy payment to property tax by the citizens, you should get up one morning and forget what day is that. If you're vexed, you know. But you saying it because of her behavior. There is no easy way. You should get up one morning and forget what color you have on. Take what I'm telling you. I saying that. The minister noted that property tax is revenue. He said, unlike your water and electricity bill, which are paid online, when the payment is remitted to the relevant statutory authority, or even in the case of a phone bill, the financial institution deducts the appropriate percentage as a service charge for facilitating the transaction. Now listen to this man.
In terms of locations, there would be no additional locations before the 30th of September, although efforts are being made to expand the capacity of existing locations. With respect to additional payment options, this is a very complex matter, made even more complicated by the recent, I'll use the word behavior, of the Auditor General. Property tax is revenue. So unlike your water bill or your electricity bill, which we are all accustomed to paying online, when the payment is remitted to the relevant statutory authority, or even in the case of a telephone bill like Digicel, TSTT, and so on, the financial institution deducts an appropriate percentage as a service charge for facilitating the transaction.
In other words, go burn in the sun and pay me my tax. You hear it for yourself. You hear it for yourself. Because of Jayawanti Ramdas' behavior, we are not going to make it easy for you. We are not going to allow the financial institution to get a percentage. We are not going to do that. So what I want you to do, go to the IR office, walk with your umbrella, walk with your smelling salt, walk with your food, walk with your water in a handbag, and stand up and burn in the sun. Trinidad and Tobago, all you ain't seeing what his man telling earlier, and yet y'all are running to pay a bill. Night after night I am here trying to explain to all you. Trying to explain to all you. The man went to Parliament and brought out a bill to bully you. I will say night after night for you to understand what is taking place. So the PNM people who would say, Saieed, you're bashing. Let me ask you, all you exempted? All you exempted from property tax? So the PNM people now working for 5,000 a month, are you exempted? I am definitely sure when you don't pay all your bills, you end up with, how does it say, chicken feed. But you want to blame Saieed? You want to blame Saieed for you ending up with chicken feed? No. Who has implemented more and more and more taxes? Me? No, not me. I'm trying to prevent more and more taxes from coming out. You facing it. Yep, you facing it. A simple thing as the road. A simple thing as the road. When your road ain't fixed and you pay tax and your ball joint fall out, who you blaming, Saieed? No, I am the one trying to get the road fixed for you. I am the one highlighting the issues. So while you say inside your bashing, think about when your ball joint fall out, if you go by MP, you get a little change. It happening? Common sense, Trinidad and Tobago. Common sense. It is not about who ruling. It's about how better they could make your life. Yes. It's about how better they can make your constituency. For the last 9 years, have your constituency grown in betterment? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself that. Is your MP working for you in your constituency? Is the road fixed? Are you getting water? Are you getting lights? Are you getting phone? Is the internet working proper? Is the crime done in your community? Ask yourself that. But noted that the source of the problem between finance minister officials and now also the central bank and the Auditor General is a question of accurate recording revenue. Listen to this.
Unfortunately, under the Audit and Exchequer Act, revenue must be sent in whole. There can be no deduction of a service charge. So what we have been looking at with respect to the commercial banks is a system where they would act as a collector of revenue, so that someone would make an online payment, the banks will collect those payments of property tax, record them appropriately, identify who paid for what, when, and so on, and then remit the amount paid in full to the Treasury to go into the consolidated fund for it to be recorded as revenue. The banks would then send a bill to the Ministry of Finance for the service charge, so that the payment of revenue must always be 100%. There can be no deduction from it. That is complication number one. Complication number two is that systems must be in place to ensure that the payment of the property tax is properly recorded as revenue. You will remember that the source of the problem, the impasse as it is called by the media, between the Ministry of Finance, the officials in the Ministry of Finance, now it appears also the central bank, and the Auditor General, is a question of accurate recording of revenue. So what I would not want to happen is a situation where people make their property tax payments online, and it is not properly recorded as revenue in the consolidated fund, and then we'll get another report from the Auditor General that will start another set of confusion and bacchanal.
Properly recorded, accurate recording of revenue. Okay, all I heard him say that. $2.6 billion gone missing, and where's the accurate reading? Where is it, Clongenbert? I'm ready for you, you know. Clongenbert, I'm ready for you. Come out now and tell the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago where the $2.6 billion go, and where is the documents for it? Ooh. Somebody got hit in the heart. Somebody got hit in their heart. You want to talk about accurate reading. Accurate reading to collect revenue. But we have revenue of $2.6 billion gone missing. Money that was there, money that was collected, it gone missing, Clongenbert. It gone missing. Nobody wants to give account. Central Bank, after hammer them, Central Bank now wants to meet with Ramdas. After what? The money still missing. Nobody has account for money that was there. We are talking about what is to come. We're talking about what is there. Already there. Gone missing. But you want to hammer the public with a $5,000 penalty if they may pay property tax? Clongenbert, don't be a clown now, boy. Oh, God. You're too old to be in this business to be a clown. You're too old to be in this thing. You're too old to be on national television or in parliament trying to what? Fool the citizens? It's me you're dealing with, you know. I'll tell you something. Other stations or other radio stations or other hosts, they might be intimidated by you because you are the Minister of Finance. You want to know what Saieed doing? Saieed is the president of a financial institution. Think about that. I am not central bank, you know. I am here to tell the people the truth, the whole truth, and nothing else but the truth. You're talking about recording, proper recording for revenue. But what about the $2.6 billion that was already there that gone missing? Nobody know where it gone. You only saying is bacchanal with Ramdas, bacchanal with Ramdas. You helping she solve the problem? Are you helping Ramdas solve the problem? No, you are not. You want to know how powerful Clongenbert is? And all I don't know? Clongenbert could send a letter to Central Bank and tell Central Bank, give Ramdas authorization to check the check clearance system. That is the kind of power Mbert have. Is he exercising it? No. No, he's not. Who is the fool? Me? No, I'm trying to educate earlier. I'm trying to educate earlier. All I didn't know Clongenberg could do that. Yes, he could do it. He is the Minister of Finance. So hence the reason why I asked the question, and I didn't label. I asked the question, is Clongenberg part of the reason that central bank don't want to give Ramdas authorization? I ask a question, we ain't labeling him, but I know the power he possesses. Hence the reason why I asked the question. And to the central bank governor, what is your reason? What is your logical reason for not allowing Ramdas to check the check clearance system when she have all authorization to walk in any government, financial institution and do an audit? That is her power. That is her ability to walk in and check the books, check the records. And if it's not straight, why is it not straight? That is her job. Let me tell you something. When I come here, I didn't come to ask, I come to tell. That's the difference. A very firm statement, and I'm leaving it for them to answer. I'm leaving it for them to answer. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Yes, good night. Just wanted to make one small remark pertaining to the paying of property tax.
Go ahead.
People need to know that they can go to any sub-office, any revenue collecting sub-office,
And make payment, yes.
and pay the property tax. I went to Puma today at 12:30, and there was just one person there at the time.
Thank you, my...
Yes. I spent less than 5 minutes.
Thank you, my friend. Now, Emmett stated, there must be a proper recording of the revenue in the consolidated funds. Listen to this.
The process that we are working on will be an online process. It will be virtually identical to the online payment by bank transfer of your utility bills, so that those persons who have the facility to use their bank account to make a bank transfer, as is now done with WASA and Tint and so on, will be able to do that. That's the process. I would not want to give a precise time at this point in time. Before I came here, I had a discussion with the technocrats who are working on the solution to make sure it's properly recorded. There are two things that must happen. When the person pays the tax, they must get a receipt from the Board of Inland Revenue to confirm that they have paid the tax. Because if they don't get that, then you can end up in an argument, and then there may be even more confusion with respect to penalties and interest. So that's issue number one that must be dealt with. Issue number two is a proper recording of the revenue in the consolidated fund. But we are almost at the end of a solution that will deal with both, so that when you pay online, you automatically, within a minute or two, you'll get a receipt confirming that you've paid this tax, which you can then present to the Inland Revenue if there's a query. And also, it will be properly recorded as revenue. So it's imminent. We are also working on additional solutions using credit cards and debit cards online. Okay?
The viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, Imbert rejects UNC claims that minister can access taxpayers' record after this.
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest, with interest payment being paid up front. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union, Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtor Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Caroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery. At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
So Trinidad and Tobago, remember we at Real Talk here, we are offering you 4% viewers on fixed deposit. Remember that. We are the only financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago is offering you that. Reason for this is that I want you to enjoy your hard-earned cash. Don't just put it there and leave it. Put it there, get your interest, go on a vacation. Go on a vacation. Do something with your interests that will benefit you. Nevertheless, Finance Minister Clongenberg has rejected claims by the opposition UNC that any finance minister would be able to access people's personal tax information should the miscellaneous provision Globe Form Bill 2024 becomes law. Embod recalled that during the debate in the House, the opposition claimed that the bill would grant him access to people's personal tax information. Call a good night.
Good night, Mr. Saieed Ali. You're doing such a great job bringing awareness to the citizens of this country to get proactive in what is happening. You're passing knowledge to them to make good choices.
Yes, sir.
You know, so don't feel sorry for these people in the line, you know. Are you feeling sorry for them at all? Because look how long you have been doing this and bringing that awareness to make good, to stand up strong. You're going to let 21 persons advantage us. We employ them.
Correct.
Sadly, and if citizens was proactive in their life, they would have demanded from this 21 people, this 21 pirates we have there, to pass laws to make crime unattractive, and the same tactics they use against their employers, the citizens of this country, threaten them and frighten them and have all of them in a line up there. They would have used it against the criminals to get criminals frightened and stop committing crime. They would have been fearful of the government. The government did nothing like this. So citizens wake up, they are committing crime against us. They are committing crime against us. And you all are understanding this. They're extorting money. This is legal extortion of money from us citizens. And they threaten us. And to Patrick Manning's son, Brian Manning, you're out of place to tell the citizens of this country they have to pay property tax. What you should do is you should not be getting a salary for the $21 million your father write off for your partner Lenny said and the Sinanan's family. all that in Wasa and Tint come out. So you hush them out and don't tell the citizens you're out of place, that they have to pay property tax. You know what I'm telling you? And the opposition leader, again, I'm going to say the opposition UNC could have stopped all of this, and they still have challenges. They could stop, look, people have to line up. They could stop it because the PNM have nothing in place for citizens to go and make payment otherwise than line up in the hot sun. They're exposed to the criminal elements. The opposition is part of that, and they're giggling at us citizens of this country. Mr. Said, God bless you, man. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, my friend. So in all of this bacchanal, where is the UNC? Where is the UNC standing up for UNC people? Where are they? Like I keep on saying, I am not affiliated with any political party. But you love your country. You're telling people you love the country. But where are you? Where's the opposition? Are they challenging the present administration that is bringing up property tax? Are they challenging the legal acts of the legal extortion or the legal bullying passing down to the citizens? Where is the UNC? So the UNC sat back, watched Clongenbird came to Parliament, passed a legislation. If you don't pay property tax, you'll be charged $5,000 as a criminal offense. What criminal offense did you committed? What? The opposition sat down and watched it pass. They sat down and watched it pass. It's sad, you know. It's sad. Ermut added that this was a clear under all existing laws, and any law the bill amend would not change this. Imbert, he also said that the act does not list the finance minister as the delegate authority that could receive this kind of information. Listen to this.
To make it crystal clear, because there's a lot of fear-mongering taking place, the Minister of Finance cannot, under any circumstances, access taxpayer information held by the Board of Inland Revenue. Let me repeat. Under our laws, the Minister of Finance, or under any law that will be amended by this miscellaneous provisions bill, the Minister of Finance cannot, under any circumstances, access taxpayer information held by the Board of Inland Revenue. This is because Section 4 of the Income Tax Act, which is a constitutionally protected provision, secrecy provision, explicitly prohibits this. The Minister of Finance is not listed in that act as a delegated authority, and by law, therefore, cannot access any taxpayer information. And even though there have been different governments in Trinidad and Tobago over the last 50 years, I've never heard of any minister, even a UNC minister, trying to access taxpayer information, because he can't, it's illegal.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, the minister stated that the bill reflected TT's commitment to globe transparency, and he had a series of deadlines to get TNTs off the blacklist by year end. Let me tell you something. You studying transparency and you want to prove yourself to our next country. We had $2.6 billion missing in our own country, and we cannot get transparency. We can't. You talk about we blacklisted in our next country and they're watching us. But now we can't even get transparency in our own country. You're talking about our next country? Come now, man. Get real now, man. Clongenbird, man. Call her good night. Hello? All right, you go on. Now, the bill proposed to amend several pieces of legislation, such as the Prevention of Corruption Act and the Proceeds of Crime Act, so that TT can be complained, or TT can be compliant with the regulations of the Global Forum, an international body which seeks to implement global transparency and exchange of information standardized on tax matters. So, but I understand what you're saying. But I understand we don't even have transparency in our own country. You want to be transparent with TT business in our next country? All well and good. All well and good. But another country sees us on the global forum, meaning there's transparency. Okay, all well and good. I understand your aim. But we don't even have transparency in our own country. Money gone missing and nobody account for it. So how do you call that? Is that transparency? I don't know. I'm asking. I have to be stupid. I have to be a stupid man. One thing I could tell you, it have no transparency there. So the EU would look at Trinidad and Tobago as a what? Funding terrorists. They would look at us like that. $2.6 billion going to fund terrorists or terrorism. Why? No transparency, no accountability, nobody has saying nothing, and the money just disappear like the snap of a finger. How do you expect other countries to look at us? But come now, man, say something on that. Say something on that. Call her good night.
Good night, Mr. Saieed Ali. God is a God of justice, and you know what I find unfair, and it's hurting the spirit of God in me, is that they're going to break down some AGC houses with millions of dollars to come and tax the poor people for their house. If you understand what it is I'm saying, you all going to break down AGC houses without bill and paint to come to tax the poor people of this country for the little home. That is not right in the sight of God. This nation needs to repent.
Thank you, my friend. We Trinidadians need to open our eyes. Because every time the government brings out a new tax, we run in to pay it. And what are they doing with the taxpayers' money? What? Improvement of what in Trinidad and Tobago? Improvement of what? Healthcare in our state? Police, manpower down, vehicles down. We could never get a vehicle when you call the station. These are reality that's happening in our country. I ain't talking about some other country now. I'm talking about my country. I'm talking about Trinidad and Tobago. I am talking about a country that I was born in. And we can't seem to get it right. It's sad, but it's really sad. So, in the last few months gone by, the Transport Commissioner would have brought out the Tint legislation. And people were getting charged because of Tint. Good? All right, listen to this now. The police service is advising motorists to take the necessary step to ensure that their vehicles are compliant with the regulations concerning window tint. TTPS Road Safety Coordinator Sergeant Brent Batson advised all motorists to familiarize themselves with the law, as police officers will no longer be guided by the person or personal judgment but the technology. He said, on your front windscreen, you are allowed a 70% tint or visible light transmission. Sergeant Batson said, you are allowed a 6-inch anti-glare band. In other words, a 6-inch strip in your front windscreen. The driver's side and the front passenger side window are at 35%. So the left side front door and right side door should be 35%. And to the rear, the tint on those windows is 20%. So your back doors left and right could be 20%. However, Sergeant Batson assured motorists with special needs that they can apply for an exemption to the rule. In July, motorists was warned that the licensing authority is gearing up to enforce the Motor Vehicle and Road Traffic windscreen and window tint regulation 2020 as part of the Ministry of National Security fight against criminal element. I'll ever hear more than this? We're gearing up to fight tint to keep criminal activities down in Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, I understand. I understand tint. But criminal, how in God's world is tint affecting criminal activity? What does a window tint have to do with criminal activity? Most of the police officers I spoke with concerning this are like, Saieed, we don't even know what to tell you. We don't even know what to say. It's sad, you know. It's sad. The law carries fines up to 2,000 and 3 demerit points, and law enforcement will be using new handheld device to detect infractions. National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines underscored that in Trinidad and Tobago, the use and abuse of heavily tinted vehicles are linked to criminal attacks on business and individual. So, listen to this.
And over the years, there has in fact developed in Trinidad and Tobago the use and abuse of heavily tinted vehicles. Very many cases linking them to criminal attacks on businesses and individuals, underscoring the absolute need for enhanced transparency, especially on our nation's roads. We also understand full well that every violent act of that sort accentuates the urgency for law enforcement to respond as law enforcement must. And heavily tinted glass around the car makes it difficult to detect weapons, contraband, threatening persons, and threatening actions by the drivers or passengers of those vehicles. So whether the crime is murder, they're moving to or away from the scene, kidnappings, gun trafficking, home invasions, drug trafficking, they all, as we all know, use the roads, and therefore these measures to take better hand and better control of what is happening on the road is very, very important to us.
Sometimes when this man talking, I just want to tell you something. I am ashamed he's a minister in Trinidad and Tobago, to be honest with you. I just feel sorry for this man. So let me ask you something. If bandits now decide, you know what? We're not going to commit crime in the day, we're going in the night. How that helping? How Tint helping? Tell me. Tell me. 9 years, Fitzy there. Fitzy can't put a handle on crime, but you're blaming Tint. Tint committing the crime. Let me tell you something. The most dunces, illiterate statement could come out of his mouth. He could bump his gum how much he wants. Caller, good night.
Yes, sir, good night.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Saieed, let me tell you something, right? First of all, gunmen are moving in no tinted vehicle again because there are no police looking for heavily tinted vehicles.
Thank
so
you.
them men moving legal. You know what I'm trying to tell you? So when he talking there, that old news. Them fellas that have done way ahead of the police side. And let me tell you something, I hear inside talk that a certain minister don't make a mandate already, that they have a certain quota tickets to give out every month.
Correct.
So people need to know what they're doing because they're getting ticketed unfairly in this country. But again, everybody they just take it and stay quiet. So if they want to take it and stay quiet, that's fine. But let me ask you a question, right? I was reading in the papers that a woman in South, a businesswoman, get robbed from a set of cash from four Venezuelans, four Spanish, right?
Mm-hmm.
When she also cutlass and rob she in a home invasion. And Ula says she going after the immigrants and the illegal immigrants. So
So why she sent 2-3 police vehicles down there to search the area and find these fellas? Because them fellas have to be linked to this woman to know that she had that kind of money stored in her house.
Correct.
They must know what's going on. They must have somebody on the inside that know exactly, that have the information on she. So the matter was right. Terrence Yalston get robbed. They sent police whole night to look for them 2 fellas to get back our gold there. The Minister of Finance son lost the phone. They fight back at the same day. But a woman lost only $500,000 in South.
And they can't find nobody.
And here ain't nothing more than that. Just
Correct.
She money and whatever she own have no value. Once it's out of the carrying best, have no value. So, let me tell you something, right? People need to understand and you keep telling them they need to wake up and see what it is going on in this country. You know? Israelites are a waste of time, you know? Everybody know that.
You're correct, yeah.
Yes, sir. You enjoy it.
Thank you, my friend. Trinidad and Tobago, I keep telling all you. Open your eyes. Open your eyes before it's too late. The other thing had to say, look where crime reach. He now get up. Poor fella. It's sad because citizens facing crime every single day. Every day. I heard a DCP telling the 2 bandits that robbed the Alsing, come and give up all yourself. Come with your attorney, come with your friend, come with your family. Give up all yourself because we are coming at you. I laugh when I read that. Come and give up all yourself because you are going after them. Who are you going to look for? Tell me. Who are you going to look for? And what are you going after? Tell Trinidad and Tobago. Let me tell you something. Commissioner come, commissioner go. We talked about earlier. Look, the DCP said we're coming after all you. What are you going after? The breeze blowing? Because all seems to have no idea on how to grip crime. I have no idea. So viewers, it's been my pleasure being here with you all. It's been my pleasure. But sadly, we have come to the end of our program for tonight. Our rerun of this program is tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And we'll be right back here on another night for Real Talk with Saieed Ali as we go live. Until then, be safe.